So here they tell us that Khadija scored 820 points in the mathematics competition. Ricardo scored 46 fewer points than Khadija and 68 more than Winston. They want to know how many points did Winston score. So what was your approach to solving this question? What did you do? What you get for your answer? Okay, tell me. Alright, see how we're moving today. Okay, so let's take a look at what they're saying, right? The English is the part that we need to kind of get to the bottom of. So first of all, they tell us what Khadijah's score was, right? Now they're saying that Ricardo scored 46 fewer points than Khadija and 68 more than Winston. So this piece sounds a little confusing, but here's what you're going to do. First of all, Ricardo scored 46 fewer points than Khadija. So what we're going to do is find what Khadijah's score is less 46, right? So let's take away 46 from 820. So when we take away 46 from 820, what do we get? So I have to borrow, do the same thing again. 11 take away 4 is 7, right? Okay, so they're saying that Ricardo scored 46 fewer points than Khadija and 68 more than Winston. So basically, according to what they're saying here now, that this score, right? So this is Ricardo's score, right? Ricardo's score is supposed to be 68 points more than Winston's score. So Winston's score is Ricardo's score minus 68. Alright? Simply because they told us over here Winston is the one whose score is 68 less than Ricardo's, right? Simply by saying that basically Ricardo's score is still 68 points higher than what Winston would have scored. So let's do this little subtraction. So Winston is 774 take away 68. So again, we're going to borrow 14 take away 8 is 6.
706.
So that was the score. That was what we got earlier.
Yes.
So why you didn't tell me? Eh? What happened? Why you didn't tell me? Right, so you see it correct. 706 is the answer for this one, right? And you notice it's 2 marks for the question, so that meant it would not have been as easily as just taking away 46. You had to take away both. Right? Another way we could have done it as well, we could have said, since Winston's score is 68 less than Ricardo's score, and Ricardo's score is already 46 less than Khadijah's score, you take away 820 and 46 and 68. So basically, you add 46 and 68, and then take it away from the 820, and you should get the same answer. So those are the 2 ways you could have approached this one. Okay? So now let's continue. We have more to do because we have a part B, don't we? Alright. So part B. Khadija placed 5th with 820 points. So she placed 5th in the competition. There were 3 students between her and Ricardo. Isn't that interesting? Alright? Okay. They want to know what place Ricardo would be at. Right? So there were 3 students between where Khadija placed and where Ricardo placed. So what position do you think Ricardo would be at?
4th.
Why I say fourth? I have 3 students between Ricardo and Khadijah. And the next thing that we need to also deliberate on is the fact that Ricardo's score is less than Khadijah's. So in this competition, Ricardo can't place higher than Khadijah. Ricardo has to place lower than Khadijah. Don't you agree with that? Right. So
you have to be second or first.
But second or first will be higher. Second or first will be higher. While second or first might definitely have this space of 3 students, the thing that you want to pay attention to is the fact that Ricardo is going to place lower than Khadijah. Right? So Ricardo placing lower than Khadijah. Think about it. If Khadijah is at 5th place, Khadijah is at 5th place. 3 students between Khadijah and Ricardo. 6th place is a student. So this is assuming that every position is 1 student. We have no ties, right? 6th place, 7th place, 8th place, right? That's 3 students. So 3 students away from Khadijah would be 9th place, right? So Ricardo would place 9th in the competition.
9th.
He would place 9th. And the reason for that, if Khadijah is 5th right now, she's 5th in the competition, and there are 3 people between her and Ricardo, right? That means he can't occupy.
People, right?
Say it back.
So if I add 3,
Right.
and then I add another one,
Yes.
that's 9.
That would be 9. And the reason why we do the add another one is because they said between her and Ricardo. There's a key word here, between. So it's not that Ricardo is 3 positions away. It's that there are 3 positions separating Ricardo and Khadijah, right? So 9th position is the answer for this. Alright, let's move to the next question now. Next part of it, part C. Khadijah wants to increase her score by 5% in her next competition. How many points should she obtain in her next competition? So, how are we going to calculate this one? They say that she wants to increase her score by 5% in the next competition. What are we doing with this?
Added.
Okay, we have to add. It's true because they say increase, but am I going to add 5 to 820? So the first thing I'm going to do is write down her score, right? So her current score is 820, right? Oh goodness.
That would be 825.
No, that's what I'm asking because they say percent. They didn't say by 5 points, right? Her desired increase is by 5%. My app's sticking a little bit, man. Just because I want to do it in the background. Alright. So the increase is 5%. 5%. So you can't add 5 because this is percentage, not points. So how many points do you if she wants to increase by 5%? How are we calculating that? So think about it a little bit. If they say that she wants to increase her score by 5%, you need to get 5% of her current score and add it to what she already beat. That's what they really want you to do. So you're right about wanting to add something, but you have to add 5%. You can't add 5, right? It's not 5 points. She wants 5% increase, okay? So calculate the increase in points. So you calculate it for me and you tell me what you get. What is 5%? Of the 820. Work that out for me. You tell me what you get. I'm waiting for you. Tell me.
Is that 500?
Nah, it can't be 500. So remember what you just do when you're doing multiplication like this, eh? You have to break down the fraction, break down everything if they have common multiples. So how many times could 5 go into 5? Remember yesterday we say into mean divide, right? So how many times can 5 divide 5?
5.
5 into 5. Divide it. 1. There you go. How many times 5 could go into 100? 5 into 1 is 0. 5 into 10. 5 into 10, yeah. 10 divided by 5.
2.
2. And because this number ending with another 0, we're just going to add a 0, right? Okay, watch something now. 820 and 20. Do they have any numbers in common? Anything could go into both of these numbers without leaving a remainder? See anything that could go into them without leaving a remainder? You have 20 and you have 820. You have any number that could go into them without leaving a remainder? No thoughts? Okay, watch this. Watch this. Yesterday we also reinforced something, and the day before we also reinforced this. The numbers ending with 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8 are what we call even numbers. And even numbers are divisible by 2. So do these two numbers end in a 0? Is it?
Yeah.
Right. And here's another thing. Numbers that end in 0 are also divisible by 10. So you have a choice. We could cancel off a factor of 10, or we could cancel off a factor of 2. Which one you want to work with? Cancelling off a factor of 10 or cancelling off a factor of 2? Because you want to divide this, so
10.
Alright, smart choice, right? Let's go with the 10. So when we cancel off a factor of 10, basically that's like crossing off the 0, right? Because that's what we're doing there. We divide by 10, so we're going to get 2 groups of 10 here with the 20, and 82 groups of 10 with the 820. Now again, we're going to look back at those numbers. Remember, we said they were both divisible by 2 and they were divisible by 10. So I want you to tell me, looking at the two numbers that we have remaining, are they both even numbers? So we have 2 and 82 remaining, right? Are they both even numbers? Remember we just say numbers ending in 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8 are even numbers. Do those two numbers have a 2 in them? You're left in my hanging by. Alright, so let me circle it in red. Maybe you might see better what I'm talking about. This number and this number, are they both even numbers?
No.
No? They're not even? Which one odd?
2.
Oh, 2 odd.
And 8.
No, 2 not odd, 2 even. Remember, numbers that end in 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. 2 is an even number because it's 2. It's one of the even numbers. So tell me something. Do you think that those two numbers are divisible by 2? Can 2 go into 2? Yeah. Can 2 go into 82? Yeah. So how many times 2 could go into 2? Remember, into means divide. So tell me, 2 into 2 is?
4.
No, divide.
2.
2 into 2.
1.
1. I was sticking. Alright, there we go. 2 into 8.
3.
Try again. 2 into 8,
4.
4. 2 into 2,
1.
1. Right. So, the amount of points she needs to get for the next competition is 41 more points. This is the increase she wants. She wants to get 41 more points. So how much points you think she needs to up in the next competition? That's what they want, right? How many points she should obtain in her next competition. So what we're going to put 41. That's the answer. How much points she should get?
41.
Only 41? Remember what the word increase means, right? Remember you told me from the beginning. Increase means that we need to add. So if I say that she has to increase by 41 points.
46.
No. Listen to the question. If we say she has to increase her current score, what is her current score? How much points she score in this competition? Alright, I have a question. What game is play?
Car game.
Car racing games only?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just say the car racing game have a point system, right? When I used to play Forza 4, they used to have like a point system. And you used to get points for like little random things, right? So I just saying. Her current score is 820, right? And she placed 5th. So it's very obvious that the reason why she wants to increase, she wants to raise her position in the next competition. So let's just say you was playing a racing game and the racing game had points and 820 place you 5th. But in order to clear the stage, you have to place in the top 3. Right? In order to clear the stage, you have to place in the top 3. The only way that she could place in the top 3 is by increasing her score. Now, she wants to increase her score by 5%. Would it get her into the top 3? Maybe, right? Maybe. So, you want to place in the top 3, right? And let's just say to score, to get into the top 3, you have to have a score of at least 850, right? Just say 850. So, my question is this. If you need to increase your score from 820 to 850, how many more points do you need for your next run when you play the game? How many more points do you need so that you will score enough to clear the stage, to place 3rd? You're scoring 820 right now while you're playing, but to get into the top 3, you have to score 850. So what's the least amount of points you need to increase by so you'll get into the top 3? Wouldn't you do 850 take away 820 and you'll get 30? You need 30 points to score 30 points more, I should say. So if you need 30 points more, right, it means you need to increase by 30 points to score into the top 3. So for her, the increase means that we have to increase her current score. So right now she's scoring under the amount to get into the top 3. But if she wants to get into the top 3, she's deciding a 5% increase just might get her there. So what you ideally should do with this increase is add it to her current score to determine how many points the next time around the competition happen, she would be able to place higher. Alright? So what I need you to do is take that 820 and add the increase that we just calculated, that 41 points that we just calculated, add that to the 820 and you'll be able to tell me how many points she needs to score for her next competition. So can you add 820 and 41 for me?
861.
There you go. So when they're asking you here how many points should she obtain in her next competition, we're not going to tell them 41. We're not going to tell them 820. We're going to tell them a total of 861. So Next computation, right? So I just put in the next score. Is the 820 plus 41, which is what you told me, 861. So her answer, well, our answer with her score should be 861. So I'm just giving you a little reality rundown check, because you know we always need to just assess where we are at and what we need to do to improve. So a question like this in your section 3 with a total of 5 marks, and let's just say from the 3 parts that we did here, right, let's just say you get the first part correct, right, you get the 2 marks here. You didn't get this question correct, so you lose a mark already, right? You only have 2 marks. Then we come here, right, and let's just say you couldn't calculate the 5%. You wouldn't even be able to get the 861. So in a question, out of 5 marks, you would have only gotten 2. So this is the reason why it's a little important to improve your arithmetic skills as the first one, but also your reasoning, right? This question was heavy on the reasoning. You had to understand what they were asking you to do, all right? So like I said, I'm going to give you the next question, and hopefully with the next question you'll have a little bit of an improved idea of how to work on questions with reasoning. Okay, so you're going to move on to question 45 now.